All right, hello, Matt. How's it going? Just getting things set up here. As this is usually a fairly thrown together system with a bunch of different screens in the terminal, and I usually craft the entire show as I'm eating breakfast. I sort of have a general idea, but then I don't put everything together until day of, which is slightly stressful, but for some reason it works. How are you doing? Can you hear me actually? Hello? It looks like I'm talking. I assume you can hear me. Can you hear me? Hello? Is there anybody out there? Hello, Matt. Well, I guess he's gone. Ah, the sadness. All right, we're waiting for a few people to pop up. It would be great if I started at the same exact time, you know, every week. It's Friday, 11ish. That's probably not very good, right? But hey, that's what you get. That's what you get. Doing my best. Being the best IMorph that I can be. All right, pushed a bunch of buttons, sent a bunch of text. Hey, Husky, there you are. How's it going? Oh, we got 1,880 sweet coffee beans towards the boost this stream challenge. I might have to, I might have to like just talk all day if we get the boost happening. Roar! What's up, White Chocolate? Hello, all. It is a beautiful. Hold on, that's probably a lie. Let me look out the window. It's a wet, wet, a vagabond. It's a very wet um, Friday afternoon here in Tokyo. I'm doing well. I've got a cup of coffee in my Starbucks mug. I'm not using the official Fancy Coffee Club mug. There's a reason for that. Just hear me out. I'm not using the official Fancy Coffee Club mug because it only has like that one tiny, like almost Starbucks short size. And I need my morning cup to have a bit more fuel, right? I need to fill my tank with coffee. So I'm drinking from my. I know. I'm a. This makes me a terrible cult leader. I'm sorry. So my morning cup is usually the grande Starbucks cup from New York that a student gave to me many years ago. And the Fancy Coffee Club mug is just too tiny. The cup is too tough. It's too small. It's too small. But I have my coffee. I have you guys. I think maybe. Oh, there it is. The official Fancy Coffee Club coffee cup mug. If anything is broken, let me know. I haven't updated that since I created that item, what, a year or two ago? And I haven't touched it. So if it's broken, let me know. All right. Oh, hi, Nate. So we had some crazy rain last night. Absolutely crazy rain and wind. Unfortunately, I was not aware of the fact that it was raining. So a small portion right near the window, the balcony window, the carpet is a bit damp. Not wet, but damp. Well, well, well. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. I sat down, I planned the entire episode, and I forgot to include some important things. We will cover them next week. But yeah, that's for another day. It was somewhat rainy, yes. The wind was crazy. It was so windy last night. All I heard was we have this bamboo, um, like bamboo blinds or bamboo cover thing. We put it on the outside of the window, and I could just hear it slapping, slap, slap, slap. Hey, Melimini. Right, I don't know if she's here yet, but when my sister turns up, it's her birthday, so we need to say, give her a happy birthday message. So I can shout happy birthday. I'll tell you when to shout happy birthday. All right. So let's get this show on the road. As usual, I am your host. I'm Morph TV. Longtime podcast listener, longtime podcast creator. Hey, Silver. I've created a lot of podcasts. I've been on a lot of different podcasts. And I think this is possibly my first full one man, one mic podcast. It took me a while to figure out what I wanted to do. All right. So this episode of I don't have an official name. The Fancy Coffee Club radio podcast show is brought to you by Breakbeat Kings, which you hear playing in the background. Sips for all of your image related metadata resampling, resizing needs. A CSV kit to turn your CSV plain text files into JSON, MySQL, a table like what you see here, Excel, blah, blah, blah. It's an amazing tool. Curl to grab those images from the internet when you are lazy. ImageCat to display images, and the wonderful Canva that creates all of the beautiful and wonderful images you will see here today, ladies and gentlemen. So that is SIPS. This is CSV Kit, not CSV Toolkit. It was a mistake. Curl, the tool of geeks. And ImageCat. Probably saying that wrong. I've never heard any of these things pronounced. And Canva. The master volume is that because the music is louder than my voice? How about now? Testing, testing. And canva.com. Okay, so is anyone else having audio issues? Testing, testing, because it looks like it's halfway. My voice is almost halfway across the meter. Okay, so very quickly, I'm going to talk for a bit. Is so why is this so awkward then? I sound beautiful? Okay. Yes, thank you, Sonic Chair Toss. All right, now that we have all these are our sponsors. They just don't know it. Breakbeat King, Sips, CSV Kit, Curl, ImageCat, Canva. These are the sponsors of the show. Maybe one day they'll throw me millions of dollars. Yeah, right. Okay. Get the bass guitar and amp because you gotta slap that bass, right? What would Davey 504 say? Awesome Nate. If you have a choice between new phone and a bass, Davey 504 would say, buy that bass. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. Today's show notes. We're gonna have some gaming talk. Um, we're gonna skip quickly to this. It's not Game of Thrones. It's Ghost of Tsushima. Links when Game of Ghost of Tsushima was about to be released. I grabbed a bunch of links, sort of related. There you go. We're gonna talk about yak shaving, work. You don't know if you had $1 million? I guess if you had $1 million, Sonic Chair Toss says he would just quit work and then do the hobbies I normally do, except I'd have more time. Funkbot 10,000. I can't get to that quickly. Husky. All right, we're going to talk about some gaming. That's a link for Ghost of Tsushima. We're going to talk about yak shaving. We're going to talk about my job, what I'm working on with my students. Not all of my students, some of my students. And some more mental models. And that's a typo. Ignore the typo. Okay. Travel, travel, travel. I would do nothing differently. If I had $1 million, if I were suddenly gifted, if I suddenly were to receive $1 million, I would keep doing what I'm doing, just with less stress. I wouldn't change a thing. I would buy a PS5 for my sister. I would buy a MacBook for myself. No, hold on. That's being greedy. So what I would do, I would see if it's possible to stream from the new Macs with the M1 chip. Then I'd buy a MacBook Air for myself. Then I'd buy two TVs. Well, a monitor and a TV, because our living room TV, our shared TV, is super duper old. We need a new TV. So I would replace the current TV. Then I'd buy a gaming monitor. And I would move myself to another part of the house. And then so I'm out of the living room and I built my little studio, and you guys can see my lovely face when I stream. That's what I would do with $1 million. I would change nothing. I'd keep working and keep gaming, just with less stress. All right, so let's get started. Yeah, PS5 for my sister, right? That's the right thing, right? Yeah, of course. Of course. Okie dokie. So, all right, that's right, that's right, that's right. All right, let's um, let's start with the first image. You built a man cave inside of the Yamanote line. So, I would just keep working. I love working. I really enjoy working. I have no problems with working. Work gives me great joy. Completing things, getting stuff done, helping people. I love working. I've got no issues with it. Now, a bad job is a different thing. Having a bad manager, right? Horrible working conditions, that's different. But work itself, love it. All right, so we're in week one, round one of the Double Dash series. Was completed this past Sunday. Yeah, you'd have a man cave and one room to sleep. Yeah, right. That's all we need. That's all guys need, right? Man cave and a place to sleep, and a very nice toilet and restroom. So the man cave is separate from the create room. Oh, wait, you're gonna you're gonna talk to people? Yeah, if you're working too hard, then it's no good, right, Nate? So Vagabond would have one room to sleep, one room to create things, one room to socialize, one room as a studio. For other creators, nice. You would buy Sonic Chair Toss. I love it. You would buy. I can't quite see that number. My eyes are really bad. Two. Was that 200,000? All those zeros are making my eyes go crazy. 200,000 hot and ready pizzas, and have the largest pizza party in history of the world. As long as you have no pineapple pizza slash Hawaiian pizza, I'm in. That's right. That's exactly right, Nate. You get the money so you don't have to stress about work, right? Okay, so Double Dash. Uh, no, I buy a house. I guess we would move. I don't know. $1 million is not enough. Maybe just find a nicer apartment to live in. The hot and ready pizza only comes with pepperoni. Perfect. You don't want to sleep with 3D printers and all your art supplies. That wouldn't be fun. So, over 9,000 vegetable varieties leads the series with 10 points after race one. Phantom Racers, that would include myself, we have 9 points. Laser Chimu has 9 points. Heavy Metal Racing has 7 points. Red Wind scored 5 points. And our default random joiners team called Blame only scored a point. The winner of the event was Vegeta 25RS. Now it's important to remember, everyone, if you look very closely in the bottom right hand corner, not a cult. We're not a cult. I would upgrade my living conditions silver. So the next race, the next double dash race is scheduled for June 6th, 2300 Japan Standard Time on twitch.tv/imorphtv. And the Double Dash series is a Spazer Laser production. Oh God, yes. Okay, now that might happen, Vagabond. Yeah, a reasonable apartment. Yeah, I'll get a nice reasonable apartment. I wouldn't pay up front. Are you kidding me? So, Vagabond, I agree. We would have to go to Bic or Yodobashi, but I would only want to go to the Mac section. That's it. And maybe the PC section so I could build a PC for gaming. That's it. The only two sections I need to go to. Alrighty. What's up next? Oh, right. I should just put in the numbers. It'll sort itself out. Okay, so in the past, in Gran Turismo Sport, we spent a lot of time building liveries and running races together in the community. And this, I went through some of the photos from you guys that you guys posted in the past that are part of the Fancy Coffee Club, and picked out a few that caught my attention. Camera equipment. That's a good question, Vagabond. Camera equipment. I have to think about that. My body is old and tired. I don't know if I can. My knees are angry. I don't know if I can go stomping around taking photographs. I would love to. So, this photo is from Yukata JPN, and it's the Beetle. And there are a lot of reasons I love racing the Beetle in Gran Turismo Sport. One, I love the car. I love driving the car. I love the way the car handles. I love the sound of the car. And I know how to make the Beetle go fast. But there are other reasons I love the Beetle. My dad owned a red Volkswagen Beetle, one of the old school Volkswagen Beetles. And we drove from LA to Edwards Air Force Base to watch one of the early space shuttle tests, where they took the space shuttle up on the back of a 747, then it detached. But you have to drive over these massive hills, right? We're going way out to Edwards, so you've got to over Mulholland Drive, and you're going up and down these hills, and that little Beetle would overheat. So we're climbing up the hill, and my dad would say, "Okay, I need you to watch." My dad would tell me, "Young iMorph, watch the temperature gauge. It tell me when it gets to a certain point." And okay, so the first hill we climb, and I'm watching the temperature gauge climb and climb and climb, and we made the first one, and it continues going up and down, right? But at one point I said, what would happen if we just turned on the heater? I wonder if the heater would suck out all the heat from the engine. Kid being a kid. I don't know if that actually worked. But, yeah, so that trip stands out. It was a red Beetle. I don't know what year. Next is The Love Bug, right? The Disney movie. It can work? Okay, so maybe it did work. I don't remember those details clearly, so I don't want to misrepresent what happened. But we ended up making it to Edwards and back. I lost those photographs. I'm really upset. I had pictures of that too, but they've gone missing. But yeah, that's why I love the Beetle. So when Yukata JPN turned up with this car, I'm just like, oh my God, this is the best. All right, let's move on to number 2. Next we have This was the Volkswagen Samba bus race at Blue Moon Bay, I think. I forget which version. And the lulls here, the lulls doing this race, it was a meme race pretty much. But what makes this Beetle hilarious is the livery, and the livery is from a delivery service like DHS or FedEx or something. So this is Takubin, and it's supposed to be like fast delivery, right? But in the Samba bus, basically the heater is working, acting as a heat soaker. Okay. So we have the Samba bus that's a delivery service, and the first kanji is house, taku taku. The second character is fast, and then the third character is service. Samba bus races are so much fun, right? So yeah, this was, and I think Hikaru JPN figured out a way to tune the Volkswagen so that it would tip on two wheels, so we could have like those that truck race. But yeah, we were all up on two wheels a lot through many of the turns. So much fun. For those of you who play Gran Turismo Sport with me, we need to get back to this. I miss the ridiculous races that we would run. I don't know what number 3 is. Oh! So, wheel stands, like stoppies, like in MotoGP. So this was a photo for Vegeta's capless pig dog cup race. We need trucks that do wheelies. We do need trucks that do wheelies in Gran Turismo Sport. So this is, I think, the promotional shot for Vegeta's capless pig dog cup series. And we were only allowed to use what, like 20, what was it, 20 million vehicles? Only cost like that cost 20 million or something. Some of the most expensive cars in the game. Thus the name Capitalist Pig Dog Cup. Time to wake up and go to work. And you can see a little pig snout on the helmet there. Oh, that was so ridiculous. Oh, the standard wheelies? Oh, you guys call them wheel stands? Okay. I don't know what image 4 is. Image 4 is... Oh, this is... Kaminarimon. This is in Asakusa. It's that famous place with the gate. I'm pretty sure that's what this is. Yeah, Kaminarimon. And this is Havoc's NSX. I hate the NSX. I don't hate many things. The one thing I do hate is the Honda NSX. Worst car ever. Don't drive it. It's horrible. I hate it. But I love the picture. I love the fact that it's not down the street, but downtown. So this gate here, Kaminarimon. All right, I don't want to get too bogged down here. I think we're done. Oh, good. All right, we're done there. You like the group? Okay, the Group 2 NSX can be okay. All right, let's move on to Destiny. Fashion time. Slowly leaves the chat. Wait a minute. Wait. Do you have a... Hold on. Come back here, Vagabond. Why are you leaving? I forgot what the images are here. Oh. Okay, okay. I know what this is. Right. I absolutely hate the Group 3. The Group 4 is not too bad, I think, but the Group 3 Honda NSX is the worst car in the world. The second worst car in the world is the Renault RS01. It's a Oh, you guys, it's horrible. Okay. Okay, let me tell you why. Let me explain why I don't like the Honda NSX. Let me be clear. Let me be clear. The reason I don't like the Honda NSX is it's a midship, right? It's an MR car. I'm unfollowing after you said that. It was the second worst. So you can drive midship cars, right, Husky? I think you can drive midship cars. That's why you don't have a problem with them. Bye. Bye. So I struggle with midship cars. MR cars. Okay, in order. So basically, I can only drive like the standard rear wheel drive. That's it. See, I can't drive MRs. The Group X now, the Group X RS01, mwah, beautiful vehicle. Group 3, garbage. I agree, Freaks Incorporated. So FF like the Sirocco, I hate FF cars now. I used to love FF cars. I I drove the FF cars before it was cool to drive FF cars. I took the Audi. I think it was during one of the FIA events, Nations, and I took the Audi in the Group 4 Audi to the Nurburgring, and I smashed it. There's a reason you're using the Ferrari. I understand. So basically, when I say I hate something, like I hate this car, it's because I can't master it or I couldn't master it. It so the Honda NSX, the Lambo, the RS01, the Ferrari, all the midship cars, they have beaten me. And I don't want to say I don't know how to drive them. I lack the talent. I don't want to admit I suck. Okay? There, I said it. So usually when I say I hate something, it's because I'm hiding my own deficiency or inability. Okay? There. Truth is out. Oh, they are not bad cars. The MR cars, MR slash midship cars, are great, especially at Suzuka and Catalunya. All of those sort of F1 F1 tracks, brilliant. I don't. They require too much work, right? You're braking, and then you're overlapping with the throttle, and you're turning at the same time. It, too many brain cells involved, right? You've got to ease off the accelerator, let the car settle, but you have to apply throttle, right? Because you need to keep the car pushed down because you need some grip at the front or it's going to lift, right, and get all wonky. But they're slow to turn. So you have to sort of start your turn and wait for the car to catch up, right? You start your turn, you wait for it to start turning, because if you like, oh, it starts turning, and you turn more, once the car starts turning, you spin, right? So you're sort of you let the car settle, but you don't come off the accelerator all the way. Sort of slightly come off the accelerator. You let the car settle. You go on the brakes, right? You're trail braking and you're overlapping with the throttle, and then It's too much. It's too much. Ain't nobody got time for that. Now you're probably asking yourself, Morph, if you can identify what needs to be done, why can't you just do it? I wish you guys could see me. I've rocked back in my chair, staring up at the ceiling, because it takes too much. It's too much. It's too much. FR. Smash accelerator. Brake, trail brake, smash accelerator. Right? It's so easy. That's what I need. I need simple things. All right, let's move on. Um, oh, wrong window. So, fashion show time. All right, see you, Nate. So, in Destiny, as with most video games now, you can dress up your character, right? And in the past, I only focused on armor stats. Morph smash. I used to only focus on stats. So a friend of mine is more conscious. So his characters always look very, very nice. Everything's color coordinated, and he gets the helmet, the matching helmet, and the chest, and the arms, and the boots. And I'm just like, yeah, whatever works, right? And he basically just called me a space hobo. I'm like, fine, fine, I'll lean into that. I'm the space hobo. But if you notice, I have the fashion statement trophy here at the bottom right. Hey, Brown Bunny. So everyone, this is my sister, Brown Bunny, aka Photo Spice, and it's someone's birthday. So if we can get some happy birthdays in the channel for my lovely sister. Happy birthday, sister. Happy birthday, sibling. She just turned 28, right? I'm pretty sure she just turned 28. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear sibling sister, DNA um, uh, friend. Happy birthday to you. Oh, 27, I see. We share the same DNA. All right, so this is the first space hobo. Oh. Oh, that's right. 47. How did this happen? I don't know. It apparently time keeps moving forward. If you don't count, it doesn't matter. It's not true. I don't believe in numbers. Oh, we got a gift from Sonic Chair Toss. There you go. Purple present. All right, last week Husky was in the middle of a written business law exam. It's a 24-hour test, I believe. He answered 3 questions, approximately 800 words per question. The answer, something along those lines. Excuse me. It's good to hear that the exam went well. All right. So, Space Hobo Part 2. So, Destiny, or Bungie, just introduced a transmog feature in Destiny. And there's some, as with everything, people are upset because there's a whole process of you have to get pick up a resource, grab task B, complete task B to get resource X to insert into machine G, which spits out resource double XV, which you then have to give to this person to do a thing so that you can unlock some other things. And people are upset. People are mad. But I don't care. That it's like, and you're only limited to carrying out this one action, creating ornaments, I think they're called. You can only create 10 per season or something. And people are so upset. I'm thinking to myself, well, you have at least 4 or 5 that you've gained throughout just playing the game. If you play throughout the season, there's a whole set they're going to give to you. Uh, as you play the game, more ornaments will drop for your suit. So why get upset? It's like, I want everything. It's like, just deal with it. So having said that, that's all the controversy. I don't care. There were just a few things I wanted, a few ornaments I wanted anyway. But here we have the look that I've been after. There's a faction in Destiny called Dead Orbit. They're basically deadheads. Everything is black and white. And there's a helmet that I like. Hey, gorgeous beefcake. There's a helmet that I love. Thank you, sir. Let's get this. Let's boost this stream into the outer. What's that? What is the thing that surrounds our solar system? What's the thing that surrounds our solar system called? Let's go out there. We're gonna go join Voyager. People always want something to be upset about. I know. People are always angry. Humans. So this is my current look. I've got 2 looks. I've got the just black and white monochrome look with Dead Orbit, and I've got the red for that matches a weapon in this whole other season. So I'm not quite a space hobo, but everything is slightly pieced together. That's why you have McCroat, Flame McCroat, ladies and gentlemen. So this is my new look. This is the look I'm going for in Destiny now. I'm mainly probably going to stick with the red, though. Yeah, so that's my space hobo look. All right. And let's move on to Cyberpunk very quickly. And I don't know what's first. Probably just going to assume it's 001. Oh, right. Okay. I know what this is. So, Keanu Reeves stars in Cyberpunk 2077. For those of you who may not know, Keanu Reeves is a co-founder of a specialty motorcycle. My brain can't. I can't find the words. He makes motorcycles, one-off type motorcycles. There are particular ones. Yeah, right. Oh, excited! My sister here works in the motorcycle industry, which is why she's excited. So they put the Model 143, Method 143, in Cyberpunk. Of course, it's been slightly altered to represent what it would look like in the future, and so here it is. This is the Keanu Reeves custom high-end motorcycles. Thank you. Yes. So he's a co-founder of a custom high-end motorcycle shop. And this is the Method 143, I believe, updated for 2077. And it's in Cyberpunk. And when I saw this, like, man, this sounds familiar. And so I ended up Googling, right? It's a laxative. And sure enough, it's they went out to some airport, either where his shop is located or some nearby airport, and they did the classic, the standard. Okay, rev the motor, we'll record that. Okay, let's attach microphones to the the muffler. Let's attach a microphone to this part of the bike. Okay, rev the engine. Okay, now do a couple of flybys, and they captured the sound, and of course they probably tweaked it, but the sound of the Method 134, 143, 143, 143, 143, and the general shape is in Cyberpunk. So I think there's another. Did we just do that? Okay, so we need to. And they're variants of like their motorcycle gangs, right? They have they're going to trick out their vehicles. So here's called Archer, right? That's I think what they call it in the game, Archer. And this is a slightly tricked out purple with the high back seat. All he needs is like the flag off the back and a playing card in the spokes. And I think it has a single swing arm in the game. I'm not sure about it in real life, but they got the single swing arm, which is the first time I saw a motorcycle with a single swing arm way back. Was the Honda VFR or something? It blew my mind. Absolutely blew my mind. And here's another. Yeah, the single swing arm with the skull. So I love stuff like this when real life sort of smashes into video games, right? And sweet, sweet photo mode. Is this 3? Did we just do this one? Oh, yeah, we did. All right. Now, it's possible that I might have killed some in-game characters to to secure one of the a particular motorcycle. It's possible they weren't even bothering me, but I wanted their bikes. Like, I like your motorcycle, and they ignored me. I said I like your motorcycle, and I just killed them, and then I rode off because that's what you do in video games, right? You can be that. You can unleash your inner psychopath. So yeah, it's possible that but they're gang members, right? No one's gonna care. And only 3. That's okay, right? Hey, look at him. Thank you, right? I asked nicely. You know, being from LA, you walk up and you just say, I like your, and insert object of desire, and they're just supposed to give it to you. Those things are expensive, I know, right? All right, that was number 5, right? I believe that was number 5. Yeah, okay. So, yeah. It's possible I go around. Okay, confession, fine. So, this motorcycle was also being guarded by some local thugs, and they wouldn't move out of the way. And I didn't want to deal with them, like after I liberated this beautiful machine here. So it's possible that I shot first. Oops. Oopsies. Oopsies. So yeah. Liberated. Yes. 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 All righty. All right. So, oh, very quickly. So we talked about gaming. Then we have Ghost of Tsushima links. Let's very quickly talk about yak shaving. There are a few different definitions of what yak shaving actually is. But I think I found the proper definition, and it's that there's a sort of a postscript after the definition that you'll find here. And basically, it's yak shaving is you get stuck doing some of the surrounding activities, how it's explained in the article. So let's say you're trying to you want to do some banking online, right? Let's say you just started to do banking online, and it says your browser is out of date. You're like, oh, that's right, I have this old browser. Okay, and it's like, oh, that's right, that's because I haven't updated the OS. All right, so I need to go. I need to update my OS. Okay, so let's start that process. It's like, oh, that's right. I never remembered my admin password, which is why I've never had an opportunity to upgrade the OS. Okay, now I need to find my admin password. I know it's in this notebook, but I don't know where the notebook is. So now you're tearing your house apart trying to find the notebook. It sounds like falling into a black hole, right? Then you're trying to find the notebook, which has the contains your admin password that you wrote down 5 years ago. And you know what the notebook looks like, and you kind of know where it is, right? Now to get to it, you have to open up the closet, or you go to open up the closet, and there's a bunch of other stuff in there. It's like, oh, look at all this garbage. So you've got to pull all this stuff out, right? It's like, well, is it here? Is it in here? It's like, I don't remember. It was a brown bag, and there are 7 brown bags. So now you pull out all this stuff, and you find family photos. Like, oh, I should really go through these, right? So you get sidetracked going through your family photos, right? Okay, I got these sorted. Okay, okay, okay. And you're going through the bags, and you're pulling stuff out. So that's another 2 hours lost, right? Then you find the notebook. Hallelujah. Now you got to put everything back into the bags, put the bags back into the closet, close the closet, go back to the computer. It's like, what was I doing again? Oh, that's right. So I need the admin password. Okay, right. And then time to organize that closet. Then you enter the password, and you get a message like, "This password has been compromised, but it was in a breach." Right? It's like, "Oh, I've got to update the password." Okay, so now you got to think of a new password. Right. So you think of a new password, right? And it says that's not secure. So it's like, well, how do you make a secure password? Now you're back online googling how to make a good password, a difficult to crack password, which doesn't matter because they're not going to hack you directly. What they're going to do is they're going to social engineer their way into the back end, steal everyone's password. So it doesn't really matter, right? But that's beside the point, right? So you come up with a new password, right? Oh, this is you end up with SKCVD or whatever that thing is about passwords, right? You make your password, you put it down, you write it down, right? You remind yourself you're gonna write it down, and you write it on a post-it, which you're not supposed to do, but screw it, you don't want to go back to that closet, but you can't find your post-its. So you gotta, oh, here are my post-its. Okay, you grab your pen doesn't have ink. Now you've got to put ink into your pen. Like, well, where are the ink cartridges? Oh, they're in the closet. Back to the closet. So you're back in the closet trying to find the ink cartridge. You find the ink cartridge. Thank God they're up at the front. You remember seeing them? They're up at the front, right? You change the ink cartridge. You write down. You get the post-it note. You write the password. Boom, done. Update it. All right. Now we can start the update. Oh my God, it's going to be 30 freaking minutes just to download the update. I'm so far behind. Oh man. Okay. I'll just go make some coffee. So you make some coffee. You come back. Update's completed. The download's completed. Now you've got to start the update. Enter your password, hit yes, and then answer the 5 billion and 1 questions. Do you want to do this? Do you want to do this? Oh, iCloud. Oh, that's right. What's my iCloud password? Is it in that book? Oh, thank God it's in the book. This is yak shaving. And all you wanted to do was to open up a bank account online. Now, now you think, oh, Imorph, you're just exaggerating. Tell them, Brown Bunny, what we just went through, right? For reasons, trying to set up my bank account, give me access to my bank account. Did we not just go through that? Scanning. Um, yeah, oh man, it's absolutely bonkers. So that's yak shaving. You're welcome. Moving on. Yeah, That was absolutely bonkers. We had to go through so many hoops. Printer wouldn't print, out of ink. Then the driver for the printer, the new Big Sur didn't recognize the old HP driver, but I kept trying to update it, and it was I kept throwing a fit, right? So I just constantly kept re-downloading the driver. I did something else, and suddenly it started working. Then I could scan, and then I sent the scanned documents to the young lady at the bank. It's like, no, these aren't. It's not recognizing them as PDFs. I had to rescan, change the DPI, all kinds of crazy stuff. And it's like, no, that didn't work either. So they had to give me a backdoor into their server so I could upload the files directly to their server. The first time I tried page at a time, it ignored it. It's like, that didn't work. And I'm like, okay, so wait. So I tried to send it and it didn't work. It said failed to send. So there was a box that said comments optional. So I just wrote, I had some gibberish in the comment box. Apparently, the comments are mandatory for the system to work, and that made it work. Anyway, after 2 or 3 weeks, we finally got everything all sorted out. Absolutely bonkers. Okay, so yak shaving. That's the yak shaving. Let's move on to work. So as I've discussed before, thank you. As I discussed before, my job is to help my students to think in English. This has been a long journey, 2007 until today. This also applies to, in general, men and women have a different mode of speaking. We talk about different things. Even though we're speaking English, we talk about different things in different order. Engineers and the rest of the world, engineers have a certain view on life and they speak at a very detailed level, very structural, factual level where feelings and all that stuff don't matter, which is why they're difficult to communicate with because they're so accurate in their speech. Yak shaving has a label? Yeah, it's called yak shaving. So Japanese and English are just, they're night and day. Right? English is about nouns and adjectives and parts. That's what we prioritize. Japanese prioritizes feelings, verbs, and adverbial information. This is not quickly or slowly. This is prepositions, with whom. So that's sort of adverbial information related to the verb, right? I ate with this person. I ran for so many minutes. Which is why Google cannot translate from Japanese to English very well, because the subject and the object and the verb are, well, the object in Japanese is not prioritized, and there's very rarely a subject at the start like I or we. So Google struggles because the way you communicate daily in Japanese is yesterday, my favorite food, my favorite ramen. Yesterday at my favorite ramen shop, I ate my favorite ramen, right? And so Google Translate is like, it's like, dude, who did it? Who did this? And it looks for a subject, but there is no subject. And then it just goes, okay, screw it. We'll just go for direct translation of the kanji. And that's why Google Translate struggles with Japanese to English. Because the way Japanese is spoken, everyone assumes that if you're saying the sentence and there's no subject, like I, then you're talking about yourself. But Google can't figure that out. Google doesn't know who's saying it. So it just throws its hands up and it gives up. And since English is a noun, adjective, sort of a structured language, that's what Google looks for, right? Because it's something concrete. So I've been trying to help my students see that communicating is like, oh, it's really not a good um, analogy or metaphor or something to draw. It's like cooking. You have ingredients. There are a whole bunch of ingredients in language. You can verbs, um, subjects, adjectives, adverbs, prepositions, and why you're speaking and what questions you're answering first. English wants to answer the question, what did you do? Makes a lot of sense. Excellent. That being the ingredients and cooking. So different languages prioritize different aspects that are available, right? So early on, I sort of realized that Japanese sort of focuses on why Google fails so bad. Yeah, yeah. So what I'm working on now with my students is this sort of get the facts, right? These are things that you can see. These are adjectives, right? Nouns and adjectives and parts. Blue, blue, size 24, Nike running shoes. Those are facts. None of that is not about feelings. Those are the facts. And talk about that first. I bought a pair of blue, size 24 Nike running shoes. And then we have the ingredients for the scene. So that would be the situation yesterday, Foot Locker, to show you how old I am, at the mall. Does anyone even remember Foot Locker? Sorry, I had to go do something in the other part of the house. Does anyone remember the Foot Locker? But that would be the scene in the situation, right? Now, I know when we speak, we pull some of this information forward from the scene from box two. But when I'm working with my students, I want them to separate these three things very. Did you pay in cash? Right, right. Yes, I did. Yeah, yeah, of course. Oh, so to help my students get used to this process, right? We're going to get the facts, the scene, the situation, and feelings. Um, I should have prepared something for this. So, for example, right now, with one class, we're talking about ramen, and we're going through all the key ingredients. So first, it was a pork slices, and they had to say pork slice, chashu in Japanese, chashu, and three adjectives. So juicy, fatty, tender, uh, thick, tender, juicy, or fatty, or something like that, right? But they came up with those impressions. They changed it from adjective to impressions because they were getting confused. I found that really interesting. And they selected three restaurants that they visited often, and then they talked about the chashu or the pork for each one. So this restaurant's chashu is thin, too thin, too dry, and too lean, right? So those are the facts. So something's chashu is blah 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 blah. Those are all just facts. The feelings would be I don't like it. I don't want to eat there, right? It's terrible. The senior situation, we're going to skip that. So this is what I'm working on right now. So facts, the scene, the situation, and feelings, having them separate these three things clearly in their head. And we make a lot of tables, like what we have here. Something similar to this. We have a lot of tables where you'll see. Well, we'll loop back to that in a minute. So I'm constantly trying to get them to break things down into categories. The order of speaking in Japanese is 3, 2, 1. And for us, native speakers of English, when we hear feelings and then just the scene in the situation, or a very general answer like, "Oh, I ate a nice bowl. I ate some ramen at my favorite ramen shop." If we hear that, it's sort of like, "Do you not want to talk about this? Am I asking like a personal question?" But if someone answers, "Oh, I ate a beautiful bowl of shoyu ramen topped with the best chashu I've ever had in my life. The chashu was juicy and thick and so fatty." That signals to us that you want to talk about the pork and the ramen and how fatty it was. Those adjectives signal you want to continue talking. If we don't hear that, it sends a message of we don't want to talk, or you don't want to talk to me, or I've asked something you don't want to speak about. In Japanese, 1, 2, 3 is bad. It's like, why are you being so detailed? Why are you being so like anal retentive is what they would sort of see it as, right? So everything is flip-flopped. The level at which we speak, it sounds choppy and impersonal. Yeah. Yeah. Which order? 3, 2, 1? Or 1, 2, 3? But what's it? I think there's a lot of lag. I don't know which side the lag is on, either my side or her side. So wait for her to define it. So yeah, this is what I've been working with, helping my students with. And it wasn't quite this clear until yesterday. Thanks to Midnight Chef, aka my wife. She came up and told me this great story. 3, 2, 1? Yeah, 3, 2, 1 does sound choppy and impersonal, right? Yes! Yes! Exactly. Thank you for confirming that my observation is correct. So, that's what we're working on. I also have, I'm also working on, with one group of students, another pattern. And this is, they spend a lot of time on Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, reading manga, playing video games. And quite often, my students quite often want to tell me, "Hey, Focus Mike," they quite often want to tell me about what they're watching, right? But it comes out as, "Hey, what are you doing? Oh, what have you been up to? Oh, I watched this classic anime. You should watch it because it's good." What's good about it? Well, I like it. It's good. Hmm. Hmm. That's not going to work out well, right? And when you're so we're focusing on identifying right now their favorite scenes from particular anime series or animated movies, describing a scene that they like. It turned out to be quite difficult for me to identify the pattern. It took me a while. So, oh, Melimini knows. Oh, you can't just call something good around Morph. No, you cannot. No. Now, if you want to see me enraged, just say something is good and stop there. Oh my God. Let's see what we have here. Let's go with 01. You need it's the 5-paragraph essay, people. 5-paragraph essay. Get it in your life. Cannot stress this enough. So, these two particular students are quite high level, and they're describing scenes, their favorite scenes from a thank you, Elimini, from their favorite anime. So the basic pattern. Now we do have other patterns, but I figured this would be the simplest in terms of like being able to identify, the parts. Such siblings, right? So the title of the thing that you're watching, the location that the scene takes place, and the type of scene. So, for example, my favorite scene from The Matrix would be the rooftop fight scene. Oh! Happy birthday! Yes. So for those of you who had just joined, today is Brown Bunny's birthday. That is my lovely sibling. So please give her all the birthday wishes. So title, location, scene type. That's what we worked on 2 weeks ago. Or Wednesday and the Wednesday prior. So my favorite scene from The Matrix is the rooftop fight scene. What we're going to cover next week, not 23 more, what we're going to cover next week is saying, from that scene, what do you like about that scene? So I like when character A carries out action B at or with person, with blah blah person, or to something, to whatever the thing is. So very clearly breaking down, identify the character, identify the action, identify the person or thing that receives the action, right? So standard SVO. Did you know there are some languages that are OVS or OSV? I can't remember which one, but I saw that on the chart somewhere. I almost want to say it's Hebrew, but I'm not 100% sure. I like when Morph Streams plays No Man's Sky. There was a huge update, and I'm going to get back into No Man's Sky. I need to find a way to... There's so much to do in No Man's Sky. You love the narration? Thank you. It's amazing on PS5. Also, the whole time I've been playing No Man's Sky on my PS5, I've had the frame rate locked, like capped. I turned that off the other day. I turned off that cap. Oh my God. The character motion is so smooth. The graphics are so much clearer and shinier. Like, what? It's like having with someone who has they're colorblind and they put on those glasses for the first time and they start crying. It's like, oh my God, all the colors. I sat and I wept. This is what I've been missing out on. Oh my god, the character movement is so fluid. What are these shiny colors? But the problem with No Man's Sky is I need clear objectives. There are no clear objectives in No Man's Sky. It's sort of create your own adventure. So I'm terrible at base building. Your friend beat. I went on a 2-hour run last night. Focus, Mike. A 2-hour run. I had my weapon proficiency up to level 5. My weapon was level 6. I had just unlocked a new trait for 2 different guns. I completed a trait for one gun, a tier 2 trait for one gun. I was working on a tier 2 trait for a different weapon. I had just cleared a challenge room. I was feeling on top of the world. It's like, yo, invincible. Yeah, I'll just avenge this fallen scout. Wrecked in 2 shots. I just when you reload, I just turned the game off and I walked away. I was so mad. It will punish you in the blink of an eye. So we have character, action. I'm gonna bounce back and forth. That was my question above. Wait, did I miss it? Objectives. It's whatever you want it to be. It's emergent or something gameplay. Is that what it's called? So you can base build. You can farm. There's something, they have a music generator. And with this latest update, you can share the songs that you create in No Man's Sky with their little beatbox thing. You can share them with other players. Their photo mode, exotic ships you can collect. You can explore. There are people that go out and just map an entire planet. People who name everything. There's a whole cooking. Hey, what's up, Lady Wonderlust? You guys, this is Lady Wonderlust. I believe she's in California. Lady Wonderlust exhibits all the positive attributes when she's racing. Focus, Mike. She pulled a U. Focus. She was racing at Tokyo the other day in the FIA race. Something had happened, and she said, "Focus." Right? Then later something happened. She's like, "Okay, just keep making progress. There are 8 laps remaining. Do this." And then it was like, "Okay, that's in the past." And absolutely fantastic. I'm a fan, Lady Wonderlust. I'm a huge fan. And she's also a Cali girl, so how can you go wrong, right? And she changed her oil for the first time about a month ago. Absolutely hilarious. I don't think. Are you going to do that again? Are you going to change your oil again? I think you should get back underneath that car, find someone else's car, and change their oil. Go get your hands all dirty and messy. It's hilarious. It's like, oh, this is so difficult. Try to unbolt something. Oh, I didn't laugh. You're gonna change your cabin filter? Excellent. I helped a friend drop and remove and rebuild an engine. Like remove, rebuild, and reinsert. I didn't know what I was doing. He just told me, hold this, turn that 5 times, do this, stand there, tell me when this is like this. Yeah, I didn't know what I was doing though. At least you knew what you were doing. All right, and the third image is when we talk about a scene that we like, character says, and then line. So I love it how the character says blah 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 line, or I love it when the character says this line. Yeah, guidance does help, right? So that's what we're going to work on with these 2 particular students next week. Is Now that they've defined the scene that they like, oh my God, a DeLorean? Are those still legal? I thought they were all banned just for being horrible. So that's what we're going to work on. These very clear patterns. They're like cooking recipes. I want to talk about my favorite scene from a movie. Open up the recipe book, and the recipe book says title, location, scene type. My favorite scene from The Matrix is the rooftop gunfight scene. My favorite scene from Violet Evergarden is the garden love scene. Okay, you looking at me, time? Roger that. All right, so that's recipe number one, right? Okay, now that I've identified the scene, let's talk about what part, right? I love it when character blah 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 pulls out the ring to propose, or I love characters A's reaction when character B proposes. That gets a bit more complex if it's not direct when someone reacting to something. But I'll cover that later in the lesson. So that's what I'm working on. All right. So we are here now. We've talked about work, and let's get to today's mental model. Mental models are so important, kids. So important. They help life. They help you see life clearly. This was one of the first, aside from proper prior preparation, with which my father taught me when I was a young lad. That was actually my first, was proper prior preparation prevents poor performances. And then the next mental model that I'm aware of consciously learning is from Edward de Bono in the Six Thinking Hats. Oops. Haha. Wait, where are we? Oh, that's because it's not a file. Haha. Okay, so, wow. So, the Six Thinking Hats. If you find yourself getting frustrated when you're trying to, or just frustrated with anything, like a project or like sort of life in general, these hats are absolutely fantastic to help you see clearly, again, what you're trying to deal with. Because normally when we think, we bounce back and forth between these sort of six things, is what the premise is of the Six Thinking Hats by Mr. Edward de Bono. I think I have a link. I do have a link. Beep. Someone had Six Thinking Hats already on Bitly. Someone had Thinking Hats, no underbar. Thinking Hats underbar. Six Thinking Hats with underbars. I was like, so I changed the number to Six Thinking Hats. Success. When we think, we tend to be very sloppy in our thinking. We mix facts with feelings, positive parts of a situation, along with the issues and planning and solutions. We tend to jumble them all together. And that's where a lot of stress comes from, because you can't see clearly what it is you're dealing with. So these Six Thinking Hats, they say, think about these hats one at a time. The most important is to think about the facts first. Get all the facts. These are things that have numbers, right? There are five cars in the that park in the no parking zone every day. No parking zone, right? There are 5 no parking zones. Blah 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 blah. Things that you can count. You can Google it and see it. There's a physical representation or one clear thought behind it. Get all the facts. Then once you're done with all the facts, some people say start with feelings first. I'm not big on feelings, so I sort of move it to the back. But get your facts, then talk about your feelings, And then talk about all the positives related to the facts, right? Think about just all the positives related to the situation. Then all the issues or sticking points or negative points. Then come up with solutions to the issues, to the black hat. And then use the blue hat, the planning hat, to either talk about what you're going to do next or how you're going to carry out everything, right? And if you sit down and work through each hat, okay, these are the facts, this is how I feel about it, here are the positive, here are the issues. Okay, let's go to the green hat, solutions and ideas, dealing with all of these, right? How we're going to address solutions and ideas, dealing with the feelings, solutions and ideas for dealing with the issues. Don't really need solutions and ideas for the positives, I'm not sure. And then planning sort of encompasses probably just the green hat, because that deals with the issues and the positive and so on and so forth. But if you think about, if you use each hat individually, particularly at the start, it will help you see things clearly and reduce a lot of stress in your everyday life. I taught this to 2 out of 3 of my daughters. The youngest missed out on this whole process. I need to introduce these hats to her also. And I reintroduced these hats to my oldest daughter and her husband, like after they got married. That was my gift to them. The 6 thinking hats. I think I found it in Japanese. I'm like, here, you guys need to get your act together. They're both sort of arty people, and they struggle with being clear sometimes. So I'm like, here, do this. That was my wedding gift. Best wedding gift ever. All right. That was kind of a rant. But yeah, done. Done. Edward de Bono has another great mental model called Water Logic. I cannot find this book anywhere. If you can find a copy of Water Logic, buy it. It's a looser form of the 6 thinking hats. It's sort of the 6 thinking hats without the hats. Yeah, right? Yeah, I did. And that helped, right? I'm pretty sure you said, oh, that was really useful. I think a bulk of our stress and frustration, general stress and frustration, stems from the fact that we're not clear in our heads. Especially at work, right? Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to have another side rant. School is great. School is great, but there should be a whole year that, I don't know, classes for every grade on the different mental models. And there are hundreds of these things. And who wrote Water Logic? Edward de Bono. Water Logic is the first time I followed the instructions. I never finished the whole book. I said, well, this is the main part. I'm like, okay, this is the main bit of it, Water Logic. You sit down with a piece of paper and you just list everything related to a situation. It doesn't matter if it's negative or positive. Don't judge. It could be feelings, it could be facts. It doesn't matter. Just list everything. And then put like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, or number it or whatever. If you're going to go beyond 26, if it's more than 26, then you might need to invent a new alphabet. Just list everything involved. Don't judge it. Just list all the aspects, your feelings about it, each individual thought, the facts, beliefs, what you want to have happen. And then once you're done with that, you go to another piece of paper and you look and say, okay, if you have the alphabet, what does A flow into? What does A flow into? Oh, A flows into C. So for me, it was um, I can't think of something off the top of my head because I wasn't prepared to talk about water logic. And I would need to sit down and list all the things to make water logic work. So a simple piece of this would be streaming. I was feeling a lot of stress and frustration, just heaps of it, heaps of frustration. And in my mind, I listed all the things and I started saying, okay, what is this connected to? So, for example, the big one was trying to win. And it was feeding into trying to win, sort of fed into a lot of different things, like what I was going to do in this dream, how I thought about the Gran Turismo sport, how I felt about the other drivers on the track, how I felt about the bugs in the game. It just fed everything. It was like this negative loop and create this negative feedback loop. And something led back to trying to win. And like, oh, this is a horrible loop. So wanting to win fed into all this other thing, all these other concerns, and then something looped back to trying to win. I realized, oh, if I stop trying to win, all this stress, if I stop focusing on winning, all these problems will disappear. And it's just like, oh, just stop doing that. Ding. And the stress just sort of evaporated within a twinkling of an eye. But yeah, Water Logic is good. If you can find a copy of it, a used copy, see if it's still in print. And if not, find a cheap used copy. But yeah, schools should actually teach more of the mental models. I think Elon Musk, one of his favorite is first order thinking. That's a really good one. Then there's one for business called Cup. There are just mental models everywhere, and they solve sort of the thinking issues, right? Your feelings get in the way, or you're not clear at what you're trying to achieve. They help you to identify when your focus is incorrect, right? So yeah, I'm here to share all of the mental models that I'm familiar with you lovely folks. All right, it is now 1 p.m. Friday. Normally, I would hop off and say, I got to go teach, but I don't have to teach today. It's every other Friday. So I'm off today, but the weather's garbage. So I'm either going to sit down and play video games. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. But let's move back. Let's you must prep for birthday festivities. Excellent, excellent. Have a wonderful birthday. Oops. So today we looked at the standings for the Double Dash series. Next race will be June 6th from 11 p.m. Japan Standard Time. I was a horrible mess. I'm on Team Phantom Racers. My partner Havoc it loves Persona. He's currently playing Persona 5 Royale with double cheese. I have no idea, but he loves it. So he named our team Phantom Racers. He carried us to these 9 points. I crashed twice, 30 seconds off the pace. It was really bad. But we somehow managed to score 9 points, and we're just 1 point off of over 9,000 vegetable varieties. Don't ask. Then we looked at a bunch of photographs from Gran Turismo Sport. Love Bug being one. Vegeta's Capitalist Pig Dog Cup. I think I missed one. I did. I missed one. I missed something. What did I miss? Was it two? And then we have the Takuveen Samba bus. And Havoc's Kaminarimon NSX. Then we talked about Destiny. You know what? If I cheat, I can do it like this, right? Yes, I don't have to move directories. Okay, my new Space Hobo, Dredgen. That's another story. That little seal down there at the bottom, that's a different thing. Then we talked about Cyberpunk and Keanu Reeves. Motorcycle being a part of Cyberpunk 2077. This is based off of the Model 143 from Keanu Reeves' custom high-end motorcycle shop. Nope. And these are the clowns I had to deal with to liberate one of the vehicles that I was after in Cyberpunk. You guys, I need to do better naming. Don't mind the man behind the curtain. These are the clowns I had to put down so I could ride that beautiful Model 143 from Keanu Reeves. I get lost, you guys. We did Cyberpunk, then we talked about work. And conversation ingredients. And then it would be better if I just went to the folder, right? But no, I can't. I'm too lazy. Then we talked about movie scenes. And then last, we discussed The Six Thinking Hats by Edward de Bono. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for hanging out. I hope your brain is full of all kinds of wonderful thoughts, mental models, and ways to de-stress your life. Because, I mean, life is short and brutal at times. So anything I can do to help you on that journey, I am here. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful evening, afternoon, morning. You're very much welcome in Limini. I will leave you with this great photo from Destiny where we got squashed in trials, triggered. And I will see you this evening, most likely in Gran Turismo Sport. Happy birthday, lovely sister. Thank you all for coming. People here in chat, please give Lady Wanderlust a follow here on Twitch. She is outstanding. Give Melimini, our featured artist. You guys, Melimini is awesome. I'm also a fan, Melimini. Big fan. I'm your number one fan. I think they might be done with their art book that they're submitting to, sketchbooks they're submitting to the New York, Boston House of Book Library. I don't know all the details. Hey, Laser, we're just wrapping up. And she's also working maybe either on her first or second piece of commissioned art. That is so cool, Melimini. So cool. Give Laser a follow also. He is the creator of the Double Dash series. It's in the VOD. It's all waiting for you in the VOD. Also, give Focus Mike a follow. He doesn't stream regularly, but he does have a podcast they should definitely check out. You're very much welcome, Elimini. All right, I've got to go. I'm going to eat soon. It's windy. I don't know if it's still raining or not. But I love you all. Mwah. Have a very, very lovely day. A very fancy coffee club day. See ya, Husky. Yep, next race is the 6th. I forget where we're racing, but bring it. Laser. Laser Chimu. Yeah, we're tired for points. I'm not going to fall down and twist my ankle like I did last week. Taking you down. All right, with that, we are out. Love you all. I just sort of bit my tongue.